Chelsea training report, Cole Palmer returns to action at Cobham ahead of Brentford clash. On the morning of September 9, 2025, Chelsea Football Club resumed full training at their Cobham headquarters, stepping up preparations for their upcoming Premier League encounter against Brentford on September 13th, immediately after the international break. While most of the squad has been gradually building rhythm under new manager Enzo Maresca, the biggest headline from today's session was the highly anticipated return of Cole Palmer. The 23-year-old midfielder had been sidelined with a groin injury sustained prior to Chelsea's emphatic 5-1 victory over West Ham United on August 22, and his absence had left fans and staff anxious about the club's attacking balance. Palmer's reappearance on the training ground not only lifted the mood at Cobham, but also sparked optimism across the Chelsea fan base, who have been eagerly awaiting the playmaker's comeback. The training began promptly in the early morning hours under Maresca's watchful eye, with the coaching staff placing emphasis on intensity, sharp movement, and positional discipline. Players went through activation routines, stretching sequences, and sprint-based warm-ups before moving into tactical exercises. Palmer's participation was carefully managed by the medical team, but he appeared sharp and confident, seamlessly joining passing drills and linking up with his midfield partners Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez. His touches were crisp, his vision was clear, and his trademark calmness in possession reassured both staff and teammates that he is close to regaining full fitness. One of the major highlights of the morning was Palmer's involvement in positional rondos and transition drills, where his ability to find pockets of space and deliver accurate through balls stood out. Maresca frequently halted play to instruct his players on spacing and pressing triggers, ensuring that the squad fully absorbed his tactical concepts. New signings João Pedro and Jamie Gittins were also heavily involved, giving Chelsea fans their first glimpse of how they might combine with established stars. Pedro operated fluidly across the front line, while Gittins showcased his speed and dribbling from wide positions. Palmer's link-up play with both was encouraging, as he dropped into deeper areas to collect possession before releasing runners into attacking channels. Although the session was positive, Maresca remains cautious. Sources around Cobham suggest that while Palmer has returned to training, the manager is determined not to rush him back into full match action immediately, mindful of the risk of aggravating his groin issue. With the Champions League group stage fixtures approaching rapidly, Palmer's fitness is considered vital to Chelsea's ambitions, both domestically and in Europe. Maresca and his staff are expected to manage his workload carefully in the coming days, possibly easing him back with substitute appearances before handing him a starting role later in September. Meanwhile, injury concerns still loom over the squad. Both Romeo Lavia and Benoit Badiashile were absent from today's training session, raising further questions about their recovery timelines. Lavia, who has endured a frustrating series of setbacks since arriving at Chelsea, continues his rehabilitation program separately, while Badiashile is still nursing muscular discomfort. Their absence underlines the persistent fitness challenges that have plagued Chelsea over the last 2 seasons. Despite these setbacks, Maresca appears focused on instilling resilience and tactical clarity into his team, ensuring that every available player is ready to contribute. The session concluded with match scenario drills, where players were split into small teams to simulate attacking and defensive phases under pressure. Palmer featured prominently, orchestrating attacks in tight spaces and delivering a perfectly weighted assist to João Pedro, who converted calmly past the goalkeeper. His creativity and composure were evident throughout, and teammates were visibly delighted to have him back. The group's overall intensity was high, with players fighting hard for their places ahead of the Premier League's restart. For Chelsea supporters, Palmer's return represents more than just the comeback of a talented midfielder. It symbolizes hope and stability in a season that has already promised both challenges and opportunities. Fans took to social media shortly after training updates emerged, expressing their relief and excitement. Many believe Palmer could be the difference maker in breaking down stubborn defences, especially against mid-table sides like Brentford, who will undoubtedly look to frustrate Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. As the session wrapped up, the mood around Cobham was buoyant. Maresca gathered his players in a circle, addressing them with clear instructions about discipline, work ethic, and unity. Training staff reported that the energy was one of optimism, with the squad gradually gelling under the new system. Palmer's return added to that positivity, and his presence could prove decisive in lifting performances after the break. Looking ahead, the next 2 weeks will be critical for Chelsea as they prepare not only for Brentford, but also for the demanding Champions League campaign that awaits. With Palmer back in contention, the Blues will feel they have regained a creative spark capable of transforming their attack. The challenge now lies in keeping him fit and integrating him seamlessly with the club's summer signings. In conclusion, September 2nd, 2025 will be remembered as the day Cole Palmer made his training return at Cobham, injecting fresh hope into Chelsea's season. Under the guidance of Enzo Maresca, the squad continues to sharpen its tactical identity, blending experienced players with exciting newcomers. While injury concerns persist elsewhere, the sight of Palmer gliding across the training pitch, threading passes and smiling with teammates has provided a much-needed boost. Fans will now be eagerly counting down the days until he steps back onto the pitch in competitive action, with Stamford Bridge set to welcome him with open arms.